It's a vibe, you know? You see what we get?
Just the vibe.
Come see the vibe.
It's a pleasure to be, you know, sitting down with you, you know, Mr. Corey, you know what I mean? You know, introduce yourself to the people who may not know you.
For sure. I mean, Corey Flex Artista II. Say my name, say some more. I'm Corey Flex Artista II, you know, one-on-one. I am a business owner, I'm a creative, I'm a philanthropist, model, actor, and I'm just a cool, average guy, I guess.
Yeah, man, yeah, ain't nothing average about you, man. I've seen that you know, ran into a couple of big figures in the game, man. One that popped me out was P. Diddy. And that question that you answered him, that you asked him, man, was crazy.
Yeah.
Did you stay up late at night writing out that question, bro?
Nah, what's crazy is when I asked Diddy that question, bro, like, I didn't even know what I was gonna say to him. Like, it literally, I was trying to think. And it's funny because it was only two people that got to ask him a question. The person who was before me and then myself. They just cut maybe one more other person, but they just cut everybody else off. But I just remember my heart was beating so fast because, you know, I got a lot of respect for Diddy. Yeah. And I just like, man, what should I ask him? So when I asked him, it literally just came from the heart.
That's Diddy though. Yeah. You know, out the butt, I had it on dance. You know what I mean? Right. Velour jumpsuits. It's Diddy.
Right.
Did you know you were gonna be able to ask him that question though?
No, I didn't know at all. I didn't know at all, and it's funny because I met Diddy one time before that, 2 years prior to that, in Miami at Revolt. And it's funny because I wrote it down while I was on the plane, like I wrote it as if it already happened. That I was gonna meet him, Andre Harrell, but like, I ain't gonna lie, like in the moment, I don't get starstruck a lot, but like with Diddy though, like I was just like, I didn't want to say the wrong thing just because I look up to him. So I just randomly was in his suite, and 2 years prior to that, and I just said, was like, he like nodded like, what's up? And I just nodded, what's up? And I just kept it at that. I was like, that's all I needed, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and then he was like, and then like, he was just like really giving you straight game.
Yeah.
Like, how did it feel for him to tell you, hey, it's just really about the look of things, the architecture, you know, people come back to me, and then my workers, you know, without pay, they believe in me.
Right.
You know, how do you get, you know, your workers or, you know, employees to believe in you now, since he answered that question for you?
I think the biggest thing is leading by example first. You know, like, nobody's gonna follow somebody that isn't doing what you're asking them to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, I say this all the time, like, if you wanna be the boss or be the leader, you also gotta be able to do the groundwork too. Like, you gotta do the nitty gritty work. So I do that. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. And so I think that helps out a lot with people. I bring people on that I may pay, or may be an intern, or they may not get paid what market rate would be, right? I just lead by example. And I have a vision too. You know, you gotta have a vision. People gotta be able to see your vision. You gotta be able to communicate your vision. And then number three, like, if they're not getting paid, or if they're not getting what market value says, like let's say for a videographer, let's say the salary may be, I don't know, 60, 70, 80,000 a year, and you're paying half of that, or maybe even 1/4 of that, then they have to be able to get some type of value from you just outside of payment. So like, I make sure I do that, whether it's just knowledge that I can give them, or whether it's for example, a videographer, getting them more bookings outside of what he's doing for me. You know, making sure that they're also getting paid. If this is not coming directly from my pocket, it's coming from somebody else as well. So
you
that
really,
type of stuff.
You really helping people build, you know, relationships. I seen you bounce around in the club. I'm like, man, buddy you got a lot of jobs, you know. How congratulations to you on your club, you know.
Appreciate it.
You know, but first of all, tell the people where it's located and where they can find you.
Yeah, it's located in the medical district, off of Inwood 2555 Inwood Road, in the medical district, 5 minutes outside of Dallas, literally right by Parkland Hospital. It's called Nirvana. We just opened first week of December. We're more of a bar lounge than a club, but we got that club vibe as well at nighttime. But I feel like it's more of a bar lounge than just a club.
Yeah, I love the presentation, man. It's real smooth. It reminds me like I'm like in a garden.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Where, you know, how did you go about thinking, like, why'd you go with that concept?
I went with that concept because, like, before I even started doing events or parties, I was doing kickbacks. You know, we graduated in the same class, so I feel like our era was like the era of kickbacks. Not saying that there wasn't house parties before us, but I feel like house parties kind of different than a kickback, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kickback is a little chill, but it can get lit too, right? So that's the vision I was going for in Nirvana, is like, because everybody don't like to go to clubs, but you can come to Nirvana where you might not have to buy a bottle, but you can chill at the bar, chill at our hot tub tables, just have a drink, watch the game, socialize with people. We got an outdoor patio. So with the decor around it, I wanted to give people like an intimate vibe. I was really trying to target ladies, just because I feel like women, I mean, they rule the world. I mean, honestly, like, they run the world. So like, I wanted to give something like for ladies to be able to come take pictures. That's why we went for the greenery, the roses on the wall, things of that nature. So a combination of all of that.
Okay. I'm a man, I love the ladies, but it's on some, how do you feel? I feel like they better business partners. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, for sure. I like to work with women because, here's the thing, because men can be great business partners too. The thing about men sometimes with a lot of men is that the testosterone is there. And so like our pride or our ego can sometimes get in front of things, right? Where women, not saying that they don't have an ego, but their ego is not as high as majority of most men, right? Like, for an example, like, I say this all the time, and that's why, like, even with my bar managers now, like, I love them because I can say, like, hey, I need you to go clean up. Somebody just puked in the DJ booth. I need you to go clean it up. Or instead of them saying, like, Flex, like, I'm busy right now, why don't you do it? They be like, okay, cool. Like, they're gonna go do it because that's their job. You get what I'm saying? But like, some men would take that as like offense, like
what?
Like what? Like, you want me to do it? Like, yeah, well, that's your job. You feel what I'm saying? But like, if it was a woman, even though she might not want to clean up, throw up, she's more likely to be like, okay, let me go do it to get the job done. So I think the ego thing is why women can be easier, better business partners. Guys can work, because I've seen it work. I'm making it work right now. It's just everybody has to take their ego out of it and understand, like, look, this isn't everybody do their job, and don't be offensive when you have to do your job, and then you are held accountable for things that you don't do.
They're more selfless than us.
Yeah, they're more
That's
selfless.
The thing. Yeah. So speaking of, selfless, man, who's a person in your life that inspired you and it was super selfless with you growing up?
I'm gonna have to say my mom, man.
I was trying to bait you. See, I was just say it. Yeah.
I've had to say my mom, and the reason why is just because, I mean, she just sacrificed for me. Like, she was selfless. Like, things that I wanted to do, like after school activities, like getting me to basketball practice, or when I wanted to start my first business, it was selling candy, like supporting that stuff. And like, my mom worked 2 jobs, single parent. My dad was in my life, but I live with my mom, and And, you know, all due respect to my pops, because he got bread now, but like my mom had more money, was making more money than he was. At least I thought she was, you know what I'm saying? Because she was supporting me the most. So, yeah, man, I mean, she was very selfless. I mean, as a parent, I mean, most mothers, they usually, if they're great mothers, they have to put their child first. So she put me first in everything.
Okay. Yeah, you talked about basketball. She was at every game, and I know you wanted to play basketball before you even thought about all of this.
Yeah.
Tell us about the hoop game, man.
Yeah, man, I'm nice on the court. I don't hoop as much as I used to, though. But I thought I was going to NBA, to be honest with you. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing up until my senior year of high school that I was going to the NBA. Ball used to be life. I used to hoop every single day up until my senior year of high school. And I was just confident, you know, I'm left-handed.
What made you stop hooping though?
Man, honestly, you know, to make a fat story skinny, my coach, Coach Thomas, which I ain't gonna lie, he's a motivation to me, but he killed our program, if I'm being honest. And Coach Thomas, you saying this, I'm sorry, you killed our program because we were ranked nationally in basketball, and then when you came to be our head coach, you just killed it. Because literally my senior year, our star player quit. Our second star player quit. Seniors. That should tell you a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and granted, they had a scholarship, but if your star player quit in their senior year, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So what ended up happening was our head coach, RP Coach Milson, that was our coach for City Hill, for our program for about 17 years. He died my sophomore year going into my junior year. So we got a new coach from Argyle, which Argyle's in the middle of nowhere, which I've never even been to Argyle. It's like a 3A, you know, and nowadays it would be 2A because they added the 6A. We were 5A at the time, right? Which now we're 6A. 3A school, high school that didn't win no championships, wasn't even winning district. I don't know why they hired this coach.
How did he get recruited?
I don't know. But he came in and you know, like, you remember City Hill, like,
yeah,
we were cold.
In the district.
Yeah, like, we were pretty much winning our district every year. And going far in the playoffs, if not winning state or getting in state. And so we were ranked nationally in the United States. So we had a really cold program in sports, but he just killed it. I don't know, man. He just didn't adapt to who we were as players. I mean, obviously we got to adapt to our coach too, but he came in and tried to implement a system that just didn't work for us.
Sometimes some of these dudes don't need to be coaching, man. You was trash in high school, and then you come over here, how you telling me how to play? Right. But that's how it go.
Yeah, man.
But scratch him.
Yeah.
You know, who'd you model your game after? And what team do you think you would want to be drafted to?
I was more of like a playmaker. Supporting guard. So like, I didn't care about scoring. I just cared about winning. You get what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I didn't really model my game after one person. I'm left-handed. Obviously, I looked up to Jordan back then. I obviously looked up to LeBron. You get what I'm saying? If anything, I would say LeBron. I don't want to say I play like LeBron, like just dunking on people. But like, as far as like getting the ball, sharing the ball, making sure the ball is moving, obviously hitting some shots when I need to hit the shots, hustling, getting the steals, getting the rebounds, like, and then talking. Like, I was always talking on the court, making sure people knew. Gary Payton, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like the person that's talking on the court. I'm a very quiet person, but on the court, talking. And then I'm also like a Draymond Green, to where like, I'm going to, like, if you start getting at my teammates or getting at me, I'm coming at you. Like,
scrappy. He getting everything.
I'm scrappy. I'm going to make you mad. Like, I'm the type of person, and when it comes to basketball, you either want to be on my team, but you damn sure don't want to play against me, because you're going to get mad. I'm going to make you mad.
I know we talk about basketball, but man, we got to get back to your event throwing game. Yeah. Who did you have for that celebrity basketball game on the court, man?
So wait, you said the celebrity basketball game?
Yeah, how did it go about?
No, it was dope. That was put on by Harris House of Heroes, with Harris House of Hopes too, their foundation. I think Dez Bryant was playing. Man, I can't remember dude from The homie, he a noob actually. He played for the 49ers. I can't remember his name. I'm bad at names.
Crabtree.
No, not Crabtree. Crabtree was supposed to play, but something happened. I don't know why he didn't show up, but he was supposed to play. We had what's the dude from the Cheaters show?
Joey Greco?
Nah, the black dude. He was a musician too.
I don't even know, from Cheaters?
Well, he just got on Cheaters. He just became a Cheater host.
The dude from New York.
Yeah, from New York.
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, Corey Gunn's dad.
Yeah, Tory Guns. Is it Tory Guns?
Peter
Guns.
Yeah.
Peter Guns. Peter Guns. Man, it was a bunch of like NFL players. I don't really know NFL players like that because, you know, they be wearing helmets. So the face and the names don't be really matching. But it was a bunch of NFL players. Yeah. And then we had, my coach was Slim Jesus. He was funny. I remember the first play he drew up, it said, he just drew up a play, said, after the game, we all going to the parking lot to smoke weed. I was just busting out.
Slim a legend.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to dude, but he a legend, man. But that whole game, you know, you bringing people in, man. Who gave you the tenacity to just, you know, be so organized? And where does that come from?
God.
I mean, they're not organized.
Yeah,
man.
I think it's just a gift from God, bro. And you know, my dad is very business oriented. My grandmother's very business oriented. Genes, genetic. Like, you know, my grandparents dropped out of high school. Well, my pawpaw dropped out of high school in 9th grade. My grandma didn't finish past the 5th grade, and like, still to this day, I think they multi-millionaires because there's no way. I feel like they're at least touching the M. I don't know, because they live a very conservative life in Louisiana. But like, anytime the family need money, they go to them and they always got it. So I'm like, what are y'all doing? Y'all saving like crazy or something.
That's how I thought elderly do, man. They usually put it under the mattress. Yeah. Or they just don't go nowhere, bro.
Yeah, they probably not millionaires, but they for sure got a couple $100,000 saved up.
I ain't mad at it. But it's good that like your family, you know, is starting to do that, and they're trying to make y'all see it so that y'all can do it in the future. Right. You know what I mean? So, you know, going about...
And I will say, not to cut you off, I will say it's definitely a gift, because in all the sports, like even in football as a kid, I played quarterback. So like, that's a certain position that you only trust a person that is smart, like can help work with the team, you know what I'm saying? Basketball, playing point guard. So like, those skill sets of leading, of being able to call plays, of visioning and seeing what the defense is going to do, are skill sets that I have to this day. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, I became an entrepreneur by selling candy. Like, it's just a natural gift that over time just sharpens. So
as a kid, you had the candy game. Did you do the mix?
What you mean?
Like, get like 6 different candies and then just put them in bags and say, hey.
Nah, I didn't do that. But I had every candy that you can possibly think of. I had Skittles, Reese's, Starburst, Capri Suns, Hot Cheetos, Doritos, Twizzlers, sour. I had everything.
Who put you on that hustle? Because as a kid, that was one of the hustles. I had to do that and cutting grass. So who put you on that?
Honestly, I think I just seen a kid in school one day doing it, and just was like, I want to do that to make some extra money, because I used to ask my mom for money and she would say no on certain things, and I just started doing it.
Damn. And I already know you had that on lock, but as a kid, you know, who inspired your dress game? I know you got a clothing line, you know. Aveli, clothing line, if I got that right.
Yeah, you got it right. You said it perfect.
I seen it was premium, man. You had the dirt bike tees. You know what I mean? That's different. What made you think about that?
So what made me think about the dirt bike tees is, growing up, I always wanted a dirt bike jersey. Never got it. And so I was like, let me make a dirt bike jersey. So it just hit off, you know what I'm saying? But who inspired me, I would just say, like, again, like, my parents, like, they dressed me first, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a picture I sent it to you. Like, you see I got my hat to the side, Texas Ranger Joy. I was like 2 years old. Like, it's funny because in that picture, you should probably show it, I was crying because I wanted my hat to the front. I was like 2, But I mean, I wanted it to the side, but my mom wanted it to the front. I was like, nah, I want it to the side. And I finally got it to the side. I was like 2 years old. Like, what do I know? I was just smart, you know what I'm saying? Just paying attention to the culture. And I just feel like I just seeing my parents, how they dress. My dad won best dress in high school. My uncle won best dress in high school. My pops, my papa, like, he was always fly. And then just being like paying attention to the culture and just mixing it up.
I bet you like your dad, man. Like, y'all, he put you on the cologne game. Yeah.
No, most definitely.
Okay.
He was always fresh. You know, wearing suits and stuff like that too. So like just watching and seeing and just making it my own.
So that's who you model all your gear after? Or?
Nah, I don't model. I mean, they old school now. You know, that's me. I think once it became like my freshman year of high school, I just started doing me. Like I wasn't worried about what they was doing because they dressing different.
I tried to throw Pops a lob. It's all good. But what kind of, you know, where did you originally grow up, man?
Great question, man. Dallas and Louisiana. You know, so originally lived in North Dallas. Then my pops, he stayed in the Cliff. My mom, she stayed in Cedar Hill. So I was bouncing forward between Oak Cliff and Cedar Hill. And then in summer times, I would go to Louisiana. Home in Louisiana, like an hour away from Shreveport, country town. I used to spend all my summers there.
I know you used to get so much lingo down there and come out here. Did you ever like get your accent messed up out there?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, cause when I go to Louisiana, I pick up back on the accent, and I be talking like I'm from Louisiana. I sometimes come back to Dallas, I be still talking like that. Like it definitely used to mix up, and I put them on bro, like, cause back in the day, people used to say bro all the time. People still say bro, but they be like, my cousin be like, bro, why you keep saying bro? Like,
yeah, they say partner.
Yeah, like, or like Woody, or like, you know, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just different.
They call girls, they look
yeah, like it's my little or they old lady.
Yeah. So growing up, you know, Texas love Boosie, of course. Yeah. You know, who was you listening to back in them high school days, man?
Hot Boys. Obviously Boosie, Webby, Outkast, T.I., Jay-Z, everybody in Bad Boy, Drizzy, Drake, let's see. Yeah, like Bow Wow, you know what I'm saying? Give Bow Wow his flowers.
Everybody like to act like Bow Wow. You know?
Bow Wow's,
they stun on them though.
I tell people to this day, I ain't afraid to say it. Bow Wow, hands down, I've never been jealous of a guy. Bow was the one person that I've ever been jealous of when I was a kid though.
Yeah.
Because like, this is where he was popping, like #1 in Winter Season Park all the time. And he just had all the girls, like in class, who they talking about? Bow Wow. Like in church, who they talking about? Bow Wow. Like all the girls was just like, dang, like he was just juiced up.
Yeah, I couldn't even get the braids.
I couldn't get braids neither.
Your parents wasn't having it?
My mom would not let me have braids.
What, bald fade, huh?
Bald fade. That's all I used to rock. And then my hair, like, it wasn't like this long, but I used to rock a curly hair fade, you know what I'm saying? But mostly bald fade.
Okay. But Bow Wow had the life. He was on the movies. You know, him and Romeo was really like, I wanted to be one of them. Right. You know what I mean?
And I thought he was our age too. I didn't know he was older because he was so short. Yeah. So that made it even worse. I'm like, man, this dude my age, remember it was a girl in my church, she was grown. I'm like, she talk about Bow Wow.
Have you seen him before? Like of your age now? Like, have you seen them?
Oh yeah. I don't see Bow Wow. Yeah, I don't party with Bow Wow probably twice or something like that.
Okay. Did you tell him like, hey bro, I used to watch you? Like,
I hit the, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just laughed. You know, he cool though. He cool people.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. But the thing is, you know, meeting these celebrities, a lot of people be starstruck, man.
Yeah.
Who was that person that you saw, you was like, all right, bro, like, I got some questions to ask you, bro, and I don't even care if I look crazy.
Dang, man.
I seen the list.
I mean, it's done been a few people that I just done asked, right? Like, it's been a few people that I done asked. But I would say the one person that, like, really stood out to me the most, don't get me wrong, like, a lot of people, I done got some game from some people, but I'm talking about, like, really kind of took more than 30 minutes type of thing, like, just to really chop it up, and was Andre Harrell. You know what I'm saying? Which was Diddy's mentor. Like, he really, like, we really connected and bonding. And RIP to Andre Harrell, like, for real. It's crazy he passed away. Like, last time I seen him was in LA after I asked Diddy the question. And, like, after that panel, like, I was walking and he seen me, and I had already met him before, obviously. You know, he had followed me on the gram, all that. He was like, man, he was a little drunk. He was like, man, I knew that was you. So I knew that was yours. He was like, I couldn't see, but I was like, that looked like Flex. Actually, that wasn't the last time I seen him. So, but he was hyped to see me. But the last time I seen him was in Dallas, because they were doing a show for a real life story on Uptown Records, which is the record company he started, which is where Diddy interned for. And I was auditioning for the role for Diddy, and he was the host. I mean, he was the judge. And I just remember he was like, when I got on stage, so he's like, man, hold on, I gotta record this. Pulled out his phone and recorded it. That was the last time I seen him.
How did that audition go, man?
It went good. I thought it went good. People said I did good, you know, that was there. I don't know if they're doing a show though. Like, after he passed away, which was not too long, probably like 2 months after that audition, I think 2 or 3 months, maybe 4 max, he passed away. So I think they kind of like just held off. I think eventually they gonna do it, but
it's crazy how you keep running into Diddy, man.
Yeah.
You gotta tell us about like your endeavors with being a producer.
Right.
How, you know, what some of the shows you try to develop? I seen you try to do the women talk. That was live.
Did your homework?
Drake, Gia. Yeah, that was live.
Yeah.
I remember you was creating that, man. How do you go about the process of even producing a show?
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because like, I hate when people like, and it's sort of my fault, but I hate when people like categorize me as a promoter, because like, I'm much more than just promotion of things. Like, I'm not a promoter. Like, I take that as an offense. No offense to promoters, but like,
don't be humble at all. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, talk your shit, because they need to understand, like, you can be more diverse.
You can be diverse. Yeah. And I like the word producer. Like I remember it's a guy that's probably gonna start managing me big in LA. He's in films and does shows. Like, man, you're an executive producer. That's what you are. You produce, like, that's literally what you do in a lot of different ways. But anyways, the process was behind the Girl Vibe show. I think I was 21 at the time, so 7 years ago. It's crazy. Was just to create a show like around just like women, and like really push like the women, you know, empowerment, and women empowerment, and really showcasing women. And it took a lot behind that show, man. And with just from the auditioning aspect to finding girls that like mesh with each other, because that's one thing about women too. Like, it's hard for women to work with each other too. You know, just finding the perfect personalities, then the funding of it. You know, that was the hardest part. You know, I'm 21, I'm in college, going on my senior year of college. You know, that's really kind of what hurt, even though we could have did some things without funding, but the vision I had for it was just super big, and I had a network at the time that was just promising me this and this and the third, and then follow through. And that's what ultimately stopped the show from going past the pilot. And you know, from there, like, it was a lot. You got to create the theme song, so I had to bring in producers, songwriters. They had to get a PR team to make sure like social media is right, making sure we can get girls in different blogs, things of that nature. Then I had to have assistant producers come in, help me out in these meetings, making sure, coming up with topics, what we're going to talk about, things we're not going to talk about, the theme of the show. Then you got to do wardrobe and, bringing in somebody that can just specifically focus on wardrobe, because you don't want the girls picking out their outfits each show, right? So bringing in the wardrobe stylist. It's a lot of moving parts. Then you got to book the media team. And so it was a lot executive producing it. I still want to produce shows, more so like TV shows, like a Power or like a Snowfall. Like I'm writing right now. It's either gonna be a movie or a show. I think it may be too long for a movie. So yeah.
God, dog, bro. I did not know you write.
Yeah.
Think about writing, you gotta actually be careful with how you stack everything, man.
Right.
Tell everybody how it has to have beginning, middle, end.
So I would say this, I'm not a perfectionist, right, when it comes to it. I'm really just, right now, because it's not my main focus to just put out a project. Like, I'm not in a rush to put this out. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's other goals I want to accomplish before I put it out. But right now I'm starting the writing phase of creating a story. You get what I'm saying? So like, I haven't got to the point where I'm like writing out this character, what they say, or right now I'm writing about the characters. I'm writing about situations, and a lot of stuff is real life. To be real with you, like majority, 99% of it is going to be things that happen in my life because I lived a crazy life.
Mm-hmm. What's the wildest thing you've ever had to, conquer and dig yourself out of? The craziest situation, man.
That's hard. I've been through a lot of crazy situations. Personal or business wise?
Personal. But business,
yeah,
it's never personal.
Nah, for sure. Personal wise, man, I mean, that's, not to just go into too many details, but situation happened where somebody and I didn't see eye to eye no more, and we wasn't seeing eye to eye, and, one thing led to another, was fight, happen, and guns.
Let's just say this person's name is John Doe.
John Doe, but John Doe had a brother, and John Doe's brother ended up pulling out a gun, and I wasn't thinking, and just intensity is up, and they ended up shooting one of my close friends that was just there. You know what I'm saying? Like in front of my own house. You feel what I'm saying? One thing led to another. Like, that's a crazy, traumatic situation. Like, to see somebody that you may have grown up with, you know what I'm saying? And then boom, you got another friend, and this friend gets shot in front of your crib, and like,
That's traumatic.
It's traumatic, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I bring up that I bring up that experience because it changed my whole life. Like, it made me realize that, like, just because you grow up with certain people, and even growing up or just having friends at a certain stage in life, does not mean they're going to stay your friend for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. As much as you would want them to, some people are just in your life for phases, not for long term. Mm-hmm. And you just got to recognize certain signs. And you can't save everybody too. I used to be a person, still sometimes is, try to save people. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I care about you. Like, I want to help you out. I want to, like, whatever your situation is, just because I have a caring heart, even though I am to myself, I do care a lot. I got a big heart. You feel what I'm saying? So you just can't save everybody, man.
Yeah, you can't. It can even be family members, man.
Family members too, yep.
So, man, like, how does it feel to, have a big heart, but at the same time, you got to be on guard? How do you go about just not letting people, get too close, man?
That's hard too, man. That's hard.
It's hard to get.
But you gotta pray for discernment. That's what I've learned. You gotta pray for discernment, man. And discernment allows you to be able to, when you're praying for that, hopefully God really speaks through you, the Holy Spirit, which people call their gut feeling their intuition, you know, I believe it's the Holy Spirit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we all got God within us. You got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and they all represent different things, and the Holy Spirit is who walks with you, even though God and Jesus walks with you, whatever you believe, but these are my beliefs, walks with you daily, but your Holy Spirit is the one that's talking to you. The one that's like, you know, you should be doing this. Sometimes you still do it anyways.
Yeah, my mom was in Potter's house every week, man. I know what you talk about. It's just for the people to understand, you know what I mean? What made you believe, you know, what made you believe in God? And what's like a situation you was like, you felt he was there?
Oh man, a lot of situations as a kid, like, you know, I don't know if people ever caught the Holy Ghost before in church, but I'm 8 years old, no lie, literally caught the Holy Ghost. Yo, I grew up in the church, and like, I wasn't faking it. It wasn't like, oh, let me just run around and start shouting. You know what I'm saying? Run around the church. Like, nah, like, I caught the Holy Ghost, like, took control of my body. Like, that's the vibration and the frequency that came through me. You feel what I'm saying? That moment, there was another moment. I remember I was sitting on my porch in college, my balcony, and I was smoking, right? Which, you know, people smoke weed, choose not to smoke weed, whatever you want to do. You know, I'm not against it. Like, I feel like weed weed helps people. You know what I'm saying? It can help some people, but it also can hinder some people. I think what it is, if you abuse it, just like if you abuse anything that's good, you can abuse money, you can abuse food, you can abuse so many things. I was abusing it. You feel what I'm saying? And like, for me, like, I don't smoke now because I wake up the next morning and like, I just want to lay in bed all day. I can't do that as an entrepreneur. Like, yeah, I make my own time, but time is money. So anyways, God, I'm literally smoking a blunt and I'm knowing like I gotta stop smoking. No lie. God came to me in that moment. I felt it was a feeling. And then he spoke to me, like, I heard it. Some people may think I'm crazy when I say this, but I heard it. You know what I'm saying? I can't right now remember the type of voice or the tone that it was. You know, it wasn't just like, Corey, like, stop smoking. You know what I'm saying? It was just like a feeling. Just like in anything in life, like, you know, sometimes you got a bad feeling about this. You may not hear nothing, but it's like a feeling. Or you may feel somebody's energy and like, their energy off. But that's something speaking to you. You feel what I'm saying? So it was more so like that. Like, my whole body was just like, it was shaking. But not like, it's funny because I was looking at myself shake. And I'm just like, there's nothing but God right now.
See, that sometimes he could speak, but it could be like something move over there. Or I look at a dog, I'll be like, oh, that's my granddad Bud. That's Bud. You know what I mean? Like, it's certain things that'll speak to you. It's cool that you're spiritual, man.
Nah, for sure.
But growing up, man, you know, how is it like, is it like more of an obstacle, you know, trying to spread awareness of, you know, the Lord? Or do you feel like people don't want to talk about it?
Man, honestly, you said growing up or now?
Well, now.
Now? Yeah. Man, honestly, man, I have no hesitation from it. Honestly. Because truly, like, it's funny, I was praying this morning and I was just talking, because I haven't been praying as much as I did as a kid. And I realized, like, last year I went through like a slight depression, but I didn't realize it was depression until after I got out of the depression. And I realized, like, I started talking to certain people, and it's just because I wasn't praying, like, I wasn't keeping God first. You get what I'm saying? And like, you know, so now I try to make sure, like, I at least pray. And then sometimes, like, you don't know what to pray about. And then, like, when it comes to God, like, people just feel like, oh, like, I'm ashamed of what I'm doing. But like, if anybody's out there watching right now, like, it's scriptures, and I'm not the person that's about to be naming scriptures word for word, you know? Like, I ain't gonna lie, I may cuss in the same sentence and mention God. I've done it before, but God knows my heart. You feel what I'm saying? That's most important, is where your heart is at. And so, but there's scriptures out there that talks about how God doesn't necessarily, he doesn't hold nothing against you, like, none of your sins. You can go kill somebody today, he's not holding that to you. He's not about to block a blessing for you. And like, I was a person that I was kind of scared about that. Like, obviously you got to be fearful of God, teach that, but it's different type of fear, you know? It's not thinking that, it's not being fearful of God or being like, oh, he's gonna judge me for that. God doesn't judge. He doesn't look at what you did, like,
you don't
at all. So I'm comfortable with speaking about it, and I feel like that's part of my purpose too, is to speak about it. And like I was telling him, I was praying to God, and I was just like, some just told me, just like, man, I just think, I was like, man, like, whatever I do, like, I want to be able to spread your word, spread your message, because he truly changed my life, and it's changing my life every single day, to be honest with you.
That's deep, man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, how you say God let you catch the Holy Ghost, man. You know, how was it being on the step team, man?
Oh yeah, on the step team. Man, step team was great. The step team really is how when I accepted the name Flex, to be honest with you. Because, and I was like in the 7th grade, because before that, people was calling me Flex because of the show off of 101, Flex Washington. People saying I look like him. And I think as a kid, I looked more like him than I do now. You get what I'm saying? Because I get other comparisons now. But when I was a kid, like, I guess I just must have looked just like him. Which is funny because that was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah,
and so, yeah, 101 was super hard. And I used to hate it, bro. I used to hate being called Flex. Like, because I'll get stopped places, like with my mom, be like, oh, you know, oh my God, you know who you look like? Flex off of 101. And then people would be like, and then it got to the point where they'd be like, oh, you know who you look like? I'd be like, Flex. Like,
Flex, bro.
I've heard this 1,000 times. This was every single day. I'm talking about parents were stopping me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it was mostly like older people.
Yeah.
And it was just annoying. And like, think about it, like, you know, I graduated high school 2012. So back then, like, before that, I'm a kid, so you gotta go 2006, 2005, 2004. The word flex wasn't a popular name.
No.
Like, people weren't saying I'm finna flex on you. You know what I'm saying? That didn't happen until like after 2012. You feel what I'm saying? People were talking about stunting. Like, Birdman, you know, stunting like my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne, like stunting. Like, that was the word when you talk about now is a new flex. Was stunting back then. Are you stunting on me? Are you trying to stunt this and that and the third? So flex was just flex, like flex on, flexible. Yeah. So like, it wasn't a cool name, but when I joined the step team, to come back to the question, everybody had a nickname and like an insulting nickname too. Like, one of my homies' names was, he had a big head, RP, Jamal Patterson, my brother. He had a big head. And like, it's funny because he would laugh at this too. They called him Jimmy Neutron. You know what I'm saying? And then like my other friend, like Reggie, shout out to Reggie, he was short and super skinny, called him Sticks. And then they came to me, they was just like, we can't call you nothing but Flex.
Goddamn.
And that's when I accepted it. Because like my step team was like, shout out to Zoe Posse at Concord. It was like a fraternity. That's how they treated it. Like, we went through a process. Like, we didn't get hazed or nothing like that. But we got mentally hazed though. And we had to learn information and all that type of stuff. So
okay, yeah. That's how you came about, like, being, you know, well, what college did you go to and what fraternity are you with?
Yeah, so I went to University of North Texas, go Mean Green. Man, I loved it. I love UNT. I wouldn't, if I would go to the end of the school, it would be HBCU, but not no other PWI outside of UNT. Okay. The first fraternity I joined was Alpha Kappa Psi, which is a business fraternity. I joined my freshman year. That changed my life. It's funny because I went in school, I used to have a rabbit ducktail. You know, I used to think I was blood affiliated. I used to go to parties with a red rag hanging out in my right pocket.
But since you went to Cedar Hill, that's crazy. Y'all used to wear blood flags. Football players used to wear blood flags during the game.
Cedar Hill was, I don't know about it is now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they used to wear blood flags during the game.
Williams.
Yeah.
Man.
Nah, Cedar Hill was blood heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had Crips, but it was blood heavy. And I don't even think really like, I don't even know back then like people was even doing it right. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as how it is in LA, I know for sure. But we was definitely gang heavy back in the day. And I was affiliated and influenced by all of that. You feel what I'm saying? Like a lot of my friends were like blood, Paru, banging it hard. So like that naturally influenced me. And so when I joined the business fraternity, it's funny, I remember Corinne, shout out to Corinne, she was like, why do you have that rap? Cause she was like from Austin. Her dad was like this big general in the army. And she's like, why do you have that rabbit tail in the back of your head? I was just like, but you're not from Dallas, some Dallas stuff, you know what I'm saying?
When they used to square the duck tail.
No, mine was a circle. Like a rabbit tail, you know what I'm saying? Like in the tail in the back of a rabbit.
Damn, that's different.
Yeah, Bobby Valentino had it. That's where I got it from.
Damn.
Yeah, so he had the curly rabbit tail, mine curly. Then he had the drop fade with the curls. This is literally what I had. Yeah, I just copied his fade.
They had so many damn hairstyles there. Southside.
Oh yes, Dallas is home of the hairstyles.
The shag,
yeah.
Everything, man. But we got to talk about this college experience, man. We got to dive deeper into that.
Kappa Alpha Psi too. Oh yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah. That's your fraternity.
Yeah.
Now, you know, being in a fraternity, you might feel like you get the perks, man. Yeah. But what kind of guy were you before you came to college? Do you feel like you was, man, I'm the same thing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, you know, humbly, I went into college like that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying I was that guy all my life, but going into college, I was already that guy. And so Dallas is like an hour away from Denton. So a lot of people from Denton that was in college knew about me. Like I remember my boy Black Pat.
Damn, Black Pat. That's one.
Shout out to Black Pat. He was like a year older than me. He was in Denton one time. Like this is like my summer going into college. He's like, bro, flex. Cause I used to do events with Black Pat. Yeah. He's like, bro, tell me why they up here talking about you right now, man. They talk about getting you to join their promotion team and this and that, the third. I was just laughing. I'm like,
in fact, Currency was like, yeah, I got stuff for you.
And I was like, yeah, that's funny. Cause me and him know like I'm about to do my own thing. Cause I was already doing my own thing. I didn't want to join nobody else's promo team. I was already the wave. You know what I'm saying? Me and my homies were already the wave. So I was already confident in myself. I didn't need a fraternity. You know, the reason, shout out to Kappa Alpha Psi, the greatest fraternity in the world. But part of the influence of me joining Kappa, which I didn't do until my senior year, right? Because we were suspended up until my senior year. So, I mean, no disrespect to my business fraternity, but ain't nobody care about no business. You wouldn't get popularity off of business fraternity. I did that to challenge myself, not for popularity, but to really just challenge myself. And then from there, like I didn't join Kappa till my senior year, but my uncles were both like, they were noobs growing up. So like, and my uncles, like I was a kid, they were in college. So they would take me to the step shows, like, you know, always shimmying, nooping it up. I'm going to the barbecues. I'm hanging out with the bros. So I already knew, like, when I went to college, I wanted to join that organization. So
so you was kind of like bloodline then.
Yeah. And a lot of other fraternities, like, pretty much was recruiting me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't lie and say, like, well, no, I can't say that. Like, nah, it was for sure a couple of dudes that was just like, yeah, bro, you need to join our frat, you know? But I was cool with all the fraternities, sororities. Like, I was probably the first person to not be Greek. I think it was my sophomore year. And I did a party with all the Greeks.
Dang.
Yeah, so like.
That says your influence though. But I done been to a party at UNT, man. And, you know, I think at the time, man, when I got introduced to you, I was you probably don't even recognize me. You had the leather jacket on. It was like a leather jacket. No shirt.
No shirt.
And I was just like, buddy, live. I was with Caleb Pryor.
Oh, okay, yeah, Caleb.
I mean,
that's my guy.
Devin Farms, all them, man. I know all them. So it's really like.
I probably had my glasses probably kind of like shaped like yours back then. Yeah. But a little bit more smaller.
I wasn't wearing glasses then. I was completely different. I kind of switched it up. I don't know. But man, it's just, you never know who you around. And like, you know, some of the people you came up with, do you feel like y'all are all progressing together?
Yes and no. Together as in, like, because people I came up with, like, we may not talk every day, but like if I see them, like, that's same love. You know what I'm saying? Like, same love as before. Like, the love hasn't changed. You feel what I'm saying? Like, people like Caleb, like his big brother. You feel what I'm saying? Like, every time we see each other, it's love.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I know they just had kids. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't treat them any differently. Like, I wouldn't act like I don't know who they is. You feel what I'm saying? So yes, like, in a sense, we're still together because the love is still there. You know, but we may not be working together on projects. That's why I say yes and no. You feel what I'm saying? But I mean, some people are still progressing and there's support there. And you know, some people just kind of fell out the map, and they may be doing good. I just don't know.
At least you progressing in what you do now, man.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about, like, what's the worst experience you've had at the club and you just trying to work, man?
Worst experience.
I'm talking about somebody too drunk, fell out.
Yeah, so most of it is dealing with people and their egos. You feel what I'm saying? And that's really what it is. It's dealing with people and their egos. Because, and that's why I had to, like, boss up some more, meaning, like, I had to hire more people to do certain things that I was doing before. Because when I especially when I first started doing events, like, I didn't realize this, but people were coming not because of the party, but for me. You get what I'm saying? And I didn't really internalize that until years later, because it was too many consistent events or situations to where, like, somebody's mad at me because I didn't talk to them at the party. But, like, I'm running around making sure this party is even running. You get what I'm saying? And people don't understand that. Like, again, they just looking at, oh, he just promoted. No, I'm not just a promoter. Like, I'm also the business behind this. Like, I'm leading the business. I invested into this. I hired all the staff. I did the contract with the venue. You know, X, Y, like, so many different things that people don't see. You get what I'm saying? And so they might take it offense, or, like, I may be at the party or an event, whatever it may be. I may not see you, right? You may see me, and they be like, hit me up, or maybe later on and be like, you didn't even speak to me at the event. And I literally just did not see you.
Why didn't you come up to me?
Like, why didn't you come up to me? That's literally my response. Like, why didn't you come up to me?
You could tell them now, man. What is your response to people that think you stunning on them and you just really just in the zone?
Exactly. I just be in the zone. That's why I had to start, like, hiring people, because I was like, okay, well, something's got to change, because I don't want to rub people the wrong way too. So, like, let me put some people in position that way I don't have to do as much. Like, you know, like in Nirvana, you know, obviously I'm part owner. I got my bar manager, I got my waitresses, I got my security, I got my door person. Like, I still do stuff there, obviously. A lot more behind the scenes when it's going. You know, I try to chill sometimes to be able to have conversations with people so they don't feel like, because I'm already a natural person. I'm a Sagittarius, so, like, we just have certain energy about us. Like, we have a dominant energy. So, like, if you don't talk to me, like we having a conversation right now, which you probably learn things like, oh, I didn't even know that, this and that and the third. You may think that, like, I'm just closed off or I won't open up. You get what I'm saying? And, like, I will open up. We just got to have a conversation.
Yeah, you just got to talk. Sometimes people just, like, really having all these problems. All they really have to do is chop it up.
Just
bro.
talk.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to even talk in, like, a party type of environment as well, because there's so much going on. It's loud. Like, you got to yell in this person's ear, like, how was your day? You know what I'm saying?
You can't even really chop it up, man.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, how you feel about the fellas standing on the wall, man? They not partying. Do you feel like they partying as hard as they used to? Or do you feel like it's just the music being too loud?
I mean, I feel like people are growing up, becoming adults, so you're not going to just have people that just dancing all the time. You know, the good thing I can say about Nirvana, though, is you do see a lot of people dancing and having a good time, standing up, socializing. I think because it's a more intimate type of environment. So that's what I do like about that. But my main issue with guys in the club is really one thing. Well, it's two things. Yeah. It may be more, but these are top two. Man. Number one, if you're a guy, like, I don't know, maybe I should write a handbook on how to just be playing. When I say player, like they say now, keep it P, I don't mean like trying to get every single girl. That's not what I mean. But not doing too much and just letting it come to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying you can't be a person to approach a situation, but like sometimes guys just do too much, and 9 times out of 10 is because they probably just never had anybody teach them. They homies probably never just talked to them and kept it real with them, like seeing like how they act, like, hey bro, like you don't have to do all of this. You get what I'm saying? Like me, like I'm not touching on a girl in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not touching her, like I'm chilling. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but guys, they just be want to grab on a girl, don't even know. Like, sometimes it may work for you, but like most of the time, girls, they talking to me like, bro, he's weird. Like, what is he doing? Like, I feel uncomfortable. Yeah, like I would just tell guys, like, listen, women, yes, they want you to come after them in a sense, but they don't want to feel uncomfortable. So like, remember that, like, you don't want them girls will come to you when they feel like they can be comfortable around you. And that's why, like, you may see me with a bunch of girls in my section, but I'm not just like talking to all these girls. I'm just cool with these girls. You know what I'm saying? Because, and they comfortable around me because they know like they can come to my house and I'm not trying to hit on them. We just chilling, vibing, playing Uno, playing Jenga, whatever. They go home, I go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
And some of them feel like they'll respect you more if you do that.
They will, 100%.
A zip game. Tell the fellas, man, how important it is to have a zip up game, man.
You guys to. It's very important because the girls want you more when you do that. Like, it's a proven fact. Women want you more when you don't try to do the average thing that every other guy does. Like, that's the sauce. If y'all don't take anything from this interview, that is the sauce. Like,
but you can't give them too much. We had the copyright. You know what I mean? You might need to get a book.
Nah, facts. I'm gonna have to get a book.
You know,
we've been talking about that.
I'm with it. If it's an audio, I do the audio. I read though. But you might need to drop an audio book. Why not?
It's funny, man. One of my big homies, he's like, man, you need to shoot a movie on how to be. He's like, you should do how to be a player too, but in your own way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
this version will be liver because it's technology.
Yeah.
So you might mess around and have them like Stephon Diggs in 4 hotel rooms in the same hotel. I want to be there to shoot that, man.
Let's do it.
Let me shoot it. I'm going to buy a more expensive camera and I'm going to try to tap in.
Nah, we can definitely collab on some things. My second pet peeve though is guys that like come to the section and you may know them, but you don't really know them like that. Like, you don't even hang out, and they just standing up out in the section. Like, then you might be cool like an associate, but like, bro, we ain't even talk before we got here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you didn't even buy me a shot.
If we didn't even talk, if we didn't talk before we got to the club, unless I just be like, hey, come over here, bro. Don't assume that you can just be in the section, all in the area, grabbing the bottles. You know what I'm saying? And then
like that.
Dudes be doing that, man.
I never like thought of, because you don't know who bottle that is, man.
Right.
What did you have to tell them to get them out the section, man?
Man, usually I try not to tell them directly, to be honest with you. Because again, guys have egos. So I want to avoid conflict. Because I know me. Because like, if you come at me a certain way, after me telling you that, then I'm not going to be nice. I can be very blunt.
You can't.
I'm not going to be mean, like, try to like, but I can be blunt, and you're going to feel, and you may feel intimidated, because I know, like, I naturally sometimes intimidate people. I've been told that before. You get what I'm saying? Without even speaking. And so that's just maybe my aura, maybe my energy. It's not like I'm thinking I'm better. It's just my aura.
But you're at work. You got it's a place of business.
Right.
You know, and for the friends that don't understand that, man,
Right.
Like you probably had to whisper to security.
I'll tell security, or maybe it may be like one of my friends, homie. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool, but just don't be in my area, at least, especially if it's my section. Like, don't be like standing right next to me. Like, if I don't know you like that, because I done grew up in, you know, Cedar Hill, like Oak Cliff, Louisiana. Like, you guilty by, like, in life you're guilty by association, but in those areas growing up, it used to get crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in Arlington, like, it used to get crazy. So like, I don't want nobody that I don't really just work with standing right next to me. And some pop out because this dude over there don't like this dude, and they like, oh, he would flex. So like, you about to get flexed too, right? I'm catching his trouble, so that's why I don't like it. But okay, you standing outside the section, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? So y'all do that, but it's been some instances where a dude done walked up and asked like, hey, can I sit down? Be like, nah, you can't sit down, but you can stand right there though. That's cool. Then they come sit down, and I'm like, not right then, but maybe like 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, because somebody got up, and I'm like,
just told you.
I'm like, bro, I just told you respectfully. Like, I just told you, you can't sit down. You can stand right here. He's like, well, can I just sit down like until they come back? I'm like, no, because I don't want to have to tell you to get up when they get back, and then you feel even more some type of way. It kind of make you look stupid. You know what I'm saying? So it's just section etiquette. I don't think everybody knows section etiquette. And like, I won't trip around people just like, okay, you in front of the table. That's cool. But all in the area.
But all right, I figured like you'll have more women than men anyway. And you know, women, they like to share with their friends. You know what I mean? Talk about like how, you know, having women in your business makes it more productive.
Makes it more productive?
Yeah, I see you posting.
Oh yeah.
Mainly women.
Yeah, just because I mean, like I said, like the thing about women is like, especially when it comes to Nirvana, like I've seen multiple times where like this group of girls, they don't even know each other. By the end of the night, they friends. They turn up, they dancing with each other. It's hard for guys to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's very hard for guys to do that. So women are a lot more open, they're a lot more social, they're a lot more willing to, you know, create friendships. So like, I want that in my spot. I want good vibes in my spot. So that's why I kind of focus on women. And then, I mean, obviously, like, you know, women are the type where it could be 100 girls in a spot and 10 dudes, and the women they're gonna have a good time.
Good time.
They don't care.
Yeah.
As long as, you know, the vibe is right, music is going, like this and that, like the experience is good, they're gonna have a good time. But there's no way it can be 100 guys and 10 girls.
No, that's not happening.
It's not gonna happen. Like, the dudes is not gonna have a good time. You know, like that's how bad stuff happen. Like dudes start beefing for no reason because they drunk. You know, like this dude looked at me wrong. So I just try to say, like, you know, cater to women more, and then I mean the guys gonna come from that.
Yeah, and now since we gave everybody the club etiquette. You know, the book about to come out.
Yes, sir.
Plug in. But, you know, before we head on out of here, man, what would you tell a younger you? Like a 10-year-old you, man?
That's a good question, man. I would tell a younger me, just everything that, like, I would say, it's a lot of things, but I would say, like, everything that the media puts out there, like, don't pay attention to it. Like, don't get caught up in other people's lifestyles. Just focus on yourself. Stay disciplined. Distractions are gonna be there. You know, like, you're gonna be distracted, but stay focused, stay disciplined, stay consistent in whatever you're trying to do, and just follow your heart. Keep God first. Always keep God first. You know, ask God things that you should be doing. You feel what I'm saying? And I would tell myself that, because I truly think, like, I don't think my calling is like nightlife. I never thought my calling was nightlife, to be real with you. I just got into it. But like, I was reading this book earlier, and it was talking about how, like, it's called Spiritual Wealth. Yeah, it's called Spiritual Wealth. It's a good book. It's like a page a day. I should read it.
I'm gonna check it out.
And it talks about how, like, in this one on the page today, it was talking about how, you know, she had started this business and went to another business, and now she's doing this. But literally, she said, now she looked back, everything that she was doing prepared her for where she's at right now. Like, she's using all of those different skill sets, right? And there was certain obstacles that she had went through that got her to this space, and like, she wouldn't have been able to do what she's doing now successfully if she didn't do those things. So I truly feel like my calling is to connect people and to really pour into people. I feel like that's part of my calling. I started that with parties, connecting people, providing experience, doing that. But now I want to expand into just other things, like using my resources that I have. You know, like, that's why I started doing networking events in 2019. I was doing on a monthly basis. Pandemic happened, I stopped. That's why I did DreamCon, which stands for Dallas Recognition of Entrepreneurs and Artists Magnified.
That's the thing you did with Diddy, right?
Well, I didn't do it with Diddy. I did it. My conference was a month before his conference. So literally after my conference is when I went to Revolt, and that's when I asked him that question. Because a lot of people for that conference, I had been working on it for 2 years, had did a lot of stuff for free, didn't get paid from that conference. You get what I'm saying? Probably lost like $30,000 from that conference. You feel me? And like, that's why, I think that's what even inspired that question to come out. You feel me? Because I had so many riders, and I'm just like, man, like, these people roll for me. Like, they helped out. We didn't project the numbers, but the experience that we provided for people, because it was 4 days. Like, most people do a conference day. First conference 1 day. My conference was 4 days. We had 35 speakers, 8 panels, 6 workshops. It was huge. You get what I'm saying? And like, I like doing those type of events more than a party, because people can leave with something that can change your life. Not saying you can't get your life changed from a party, because you may meet somebody at a party that may change your life. But like, honestly, you're not gonna change your life by drinking. Like, you're not.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But people love entertainment, so entertainment is needed too. But I like to do things just outside of entertainment that is super valuable for people, that can inspire them to do something, or can be like that click that's just like, this is what I need to do. You get what I'm saying? So like, I feel like that's part of my calling. I'm about to start tapping more into that, like, with just dropping content, you know, and just sharing my story, sharing my life behind the scenes, all that type of stuff.
Okay, man, we doing documentaries, man.
Man, honestly, in 2015, I wrote that I wanted to drop a documentary in 2022. Crazy. I started working on it last year. And I'm trying to finish it this year. So,
man, go ahead and put it on YouTube. I bet it'll go crazy. Because people, like, they might see you on the outside, but they might not know your personality, man.
Right.
Yeah, they might want to know that.
And that's what I wanted to like show people too, like, because I am like, you may see me out because you may know of me, you know, I've been around, but I want to, you know, I've learned that like, and when I say average person, meaning like I'm relatable, like I feel like I'm very relatable, but people don't know that, you know what I'm saying? Because of what they see or what Instagram shows them, like the glitz and the glam. But I want to show them like the behind the scenes. I want to, you know, show them where my mindset is at, the things that I've been through. Like, there's a promoter out here, I remember he told me, Dave, shout out to Dave, cause he's my frat brother too. And I just tell him like certain things, and he'd be like, bro, nobody would know that you even went through that type of stuff. Like, people think that, cause he know, like he probably hearing stuff from the outside, like, and then he's like, bro, people just think that you just like got it all together or just live this great life. They don't really know like the things that you've been through. And I'm like, when he said that, I'm like, he right. Like, I need to start showing people that, because you never know what they can do to help somebody else's life out. You know what I'm saying? Because when you seem too perfect, then like people feel like they can relate to you.
They just really want to know. You know
They want to know, yeah.
And you know, if you can get that story out, if it's possible, let us do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you need somebody to help you bridge that together, call us. You know what I mean? But I know you got it. You know, got it together, Mr. Producer.
I need help, to be honest with you. I do need help with it. There's a guy that I'm working with, and we just worked some things out, and I think we'll continue to work, but I just don't think he has the capacity to do everything that I need. So the more help, the better.
Okay then, man. You know, Macintosh Flex, man.
Yes,
Mr. Put
sir.
It Together, man.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
tell the people where they can reach you, your social media.
Yeah, y'all can reach me at Flex Aveli. That's FLEXAVELI. Flex Aveli, that's my page. My clothing line page is Flex Aveli Clothing. I don't know how to spell clothing. And then Nirvana, the bar and lounge in Dallas, is Nirvana, NIVRANA DTX. And yeah, man, tap in with me. It was a pleasure.
Yes,
this interview
sir.
was dope.
It's been real, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate everything, man.
I love.
Yes, sir. That was